Hello and welcome to my inspiration for today's build. I am building a house for my Terry family in my Let's Play Good vs Evil. It's a base game only play, so this is a base game only build. And it is a cute suburban little cottage, and it is for my Terry family, who are a family of 4. We have Jackson and Johnny, who are the dads, and we have Jocelyn and Jung, who are twins. So Jocelyn is sort of silly and Jung is sweet, and they're all good. So it's a really nice, cute little family, and they deserve something really cute and adorable. And that's what I built them. So it's like a suburban cottage, as I said. And it actually I just used the inspiration as a jumping point. I think you can sort of still see the inspiration in the result, but I do go in a little bit of a different direction. So for this build, just like all the other Good vs Evil builds I'm doing for each of the households, I tried to recreate the same sort of budget as the household that was on the lot had. So this lot is being built on Rindle Rose, on the Rindle Rose lot, and the house that was on this lot was worth 35,074 simoleons and was 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So that's what I had to work with. So that means that the twins will be sharing a room, and there is only 1 bathroom with 4 Sims. So yeah, that is really tough probably to play with, but hey, that's what we had, so that's what we're going with. Yeah, so I am in the process of working out the roofs and how I'm going to do this, and I kind of wanted to have 2 entrances, which is what my inspiration had, which is one of the appeals of the inspiration to me, was the 2 entrances. And it's actually a really small lot, so it's quite hard. There's not a lot of room to build on, and particularly when I'm going with a 2 bedroom 1 bathroom house as well. So I've got to fit the 2 bedrooms in there. So yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze, and I'm just working out how to get that sort of all working, and having the entrance on the side as well. That was definitely a challenge, is working out the space and how I was going to use that space effectively. Because yeah, it's quite a small lot for the amount of money that I had to spend. It wasn't just a starter lot, so yeah, not a lot more than a starter lot, but a little bit more, enough that it was a challenge to squeeze it all in. So I'm just moving over the first entrance. As you see, it's going off to the right, and then I'm about to build the entrance around the side here. So it's got the 2 entrances coming in from the 2 different sides, which I thought was really cute and something a little bit different. And just got the columns going in there, and your basic sort of column, not the round one, the next one along, it's just a little bit nicer. And yeah, I went with a similar color theme to what was on the inspiration as well. That was quite pale, so I went with a little bit more color than that, but yeah, you see sort of one of the colors is going to be the white, and I'm just working out how that's all going to sit there in terms of the shape of the house, and how to make that flow and work effectively and still look like, you know, something decent. So yeah, that's all sort of coming together, I think, on the side. And I've really enjoyed working this one out and trying to make it look like the inspiration, but actually make it suit the family as well. Because looking at the inside when we get there, yeah, there's just, it looks like a good sized house, but you know, when you're looking at, by the time you do a kitchen and a bathroom and stuff, you know, there's not a lot of room left over. So just working out how to shape the house and how to get that all sort of working. I was actually struggling with quite a lot with how this was all gonna come together, and A, fit the inspiration, and B, be big enough for the family. So you'll see I come up with a solution for this a little bit later, but at the moment I'm just, yeah, trying to work out, because I'm obviously conscious of the fact that there's going to be kids as well, and it's like, how can I fit you know, a bit of space there for the kids to run around in, and put in some, you know, like there's not a lot of options in the base game for the kids, obviously, but we've got the monkey bars. There's no way I'm going to fit in the rocket or the ship. Those are way too big for the space that we have. But yeah, I was very conscious of the fact I still wanted to have like a little tiny bit of a yard for the kids. But yeah, it was pretty tough. So I'm just looking at the colours there. So I've kind of got like I think that's pale blue. Yeah, it is a pale blue there, matching with the white, which is a favourite of mine, I have to say. I do like blue and white together. Basically any combination of blue and white, I'm just there for it. I love it. But I think we've got the basic shape there of what I was going for, with the two entrances on the side, and then we're going for the white trim with the blue clapboard on the outside. So that is definitely the look that I was going for. And that door actually worked really nicely. It's just the 50 simoleon door, but it's the blue with the white trim and the patterns on it. And it actually looked really fancy with the house, which I really liked. I thought that was very cool. So yeah, so I'm just working out the colours, and when I go inside, you'll see what else I end up doing to make that sort of work size-wise for me. But I've got the terrain paint obviously down, so that's an idea of how the garden's going to go. But I imagine that I am probably going to run out of money as per usual with these builds, because 30 odd simoleons is not a lot to work with when you're doing something pretty. And I think this ends up as quite a pretty build, but yeah, just for the room on the backyard, as you see, there's just not a lot there, unfortunately, but it's a little bit, and kids can make do with a little bit of room. So once they get a little bit older, they'll be out in the backyard and running around the house, so they'll have some space there, and they'll have something fun to play with. And there's actually, it just sort of kind of backs onto a bare area, so I mean, I can just imagine they're going to go out there and play too. I mean, obviously there's some, so they can't leave their lot without travelling, but I'm just going to imagine that. So I'm just getting in the kitchen, and it's going to go down the side of the house and onto next to the second entrance that comes in on the side, and I'm going with blue and white on the inside just to match the outside as well. So, you know, I just like my coordinated kind of builds. Now, this is the point where it occurs to me that I just don't have enough room for what I want to do. So I am going to go up. So this actually ends, the inspiration was a one-story home, just one floor, but yeah, I needed the extra space, so it's just I had to go up, and I just made this a two-story, but I think it still ends up looking quite a bit like the inspiration. So I was happy with how it came out. So yes, so we are going to re-roof it and rework that out. After all that effort to try and roof it and sort out the shape, yeah, kind of got to start again. Well, not quite again, but close-ish. So just working out all the roofing and how to keep it similar to what the vibe is that I'm going for with the inspiration, and then yeah, still make it look good and not like it's way too high and over the top in terms of the shape. So yeah, that's always a bit of a challenge with the roofing in terms of working that out, but I think I got there in the end and got it the shape that I wanted. I'm just looking at doing an overhang on the, I'm going to do a little balcony around that side. So I was just looking at doing like a little roof overhang on top of there with some columns, and I thought that was quite nice, having a little balcony on the upper story, so that it was something for the parents to go out there in the evenings when the kids are in bed and chill out, have a look out over the world and enjoy some fresh air. And I'm just doing, because of the way that I ended up having to change it around, I had to rethink how I was going to make that second entrance enclosed. So yeah, I had to change that around a little bit in terms of how I was going to do that. But I think I was really happy with how that ended up shaping up and looking, and it got, yeah, I think it's for the amount of money that I spend on this build, I think it actually looks really good. It could have gone a lot worse than it did. So yeah, so I think that's going to be about my final shape on that, and I was really happy with it. So I'm just putting in some of the grey safety railings that came with the infant update. I actually end up using those quite a lot in different builds, because I think it's, while some of the colours are obviously very much toddler and infant kind of directed, I think you can get away with the grey and the white one as something that you can just use on a regular build, and it's actually cheap fencing as well, which is nice, because some of that fencing can be so expensive. Oh man, and you know, as said, when you don't have much money, you're very conscious of the money that you are spending on things like a fence. I mean, I'd love to have sort of a fenced yard, and you know, fancy fencing around the balcony and that sort of thing, but yeah, I mean, I'm sitting at 21,000 simoleons at the moment, which isn't too bad, but we haven't got any of the rooms. I'm taking out the under of the stairs because that saves a bit of money. So there you go. Tip if you didn't know that, if you delete the underside of the stairs, you actually get a bit of money back. So that's actually quite good for starter homes to know that. So just working out the floor plan. So upstairs we're going to have the master bedroom for Johnny and Jackson and the bathroom. Now, I was only allowed 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom in this build, so it's a little bit tricky having the bathroom upstairs, particularly with the toddlers. I mean, I did think about having the kids, the 2 bedrooms upstairs and having the bathroom, living and kitchen downstairs, but it just didn't quite work, and I wanted a bigger bedroom for the 2 kids, and I just didn't have the space up there really to do 2 decent sized bedrooms, not with the stairs and stuff needing space too. So I did a bedroom and a bathroom upstairs, and then there'll be the twins will be downstairs in a larger bedroom downstairs, and then we'll have the living and the kitchen area as well. So I'm just putting in the windows. So I went with the modern sort of suburban kind of look, because that sort of suited our cottage suburban kind of vibe. So with the shutters and stuff on there, I went with that option. So just looking at the master bedroom upstairs, I'm going with a grey and white kind of theme there, and I might have pops of blue. I'm not too sure what I decide on there. Yeah, I think I do decide on pops of blue, just to bring it in line with the colour palette of the house. So I'm just sort of mixing up the blue and the white with grey as well. And I'm going with the kind of the vault furniture, so like the end table and the dresser. So it's all sort of matching, and bringing out. For some reason I put paintings in, and I don't know why, because I was never going to have enough money to have paintings and curtains and everything, but hey, I'm a dreamer. Wishful thinking, and I guess you never know at the end of the day whether or not you're going to be able to afford all these things. So some of them will get deleted, some of them won't. It'll be fine. So yeah, just making this a little self-contained peaceful haven for Jackson and Johnny. So popping it out with the blue, and I've got the white and the grey, and just putting their bits and pieces around, some pretty florals, curtains, and a nice chair, and they can actually go out onto the balcony, as I said, and relax in the evenings. So being a house with toddlers in it, you need a bath. So I was very conscious of that. I wasn't going to get away with just a small little bathroom. I had to make it a little bit bigger. I'm just moving the door because I realized that I wanted to have the walkway sort of down the middle of the bathroom, and then I could put in some nice counters as well as a potty, because you're going to need that for the potty training. So yeah, once again, it's a little bit awkward having the potty and stuff, the bathroom upstairs, with the kids downstairs. So because obviously they can't manage the stairs by themselves yet, so a little bit tricky, but I think, you know, the kids don't stay young for long, so practically speaking, it made more sense to have that bathroom upstairs, and having the bigger space for them in the bedroom for later on as they get older. So just putting in the accessories for the bathroom. So that's the toilet paper going in, because we always need to have the toilet paper, and I'm going to put in the mirror a couple of mirrors there. No, not three. Three mirrors. Okay, well, I went enthusiastic. So, and just doing the hand towels as well, and using the Control 9 to lift that up with the BB Move Objects On sheet. So that's always nice for placing things. And I'm just working on the colour, so I went with the dark blue digital world and just a basic white tiling there, and I did the matching vault counters because I did the vault stuff in the bedroom, and I thought, well, it makes sense to put the vault counters into the bathroom as well. So that's a bit of consistency through the house with the items. So just deciding on what I'm going to do on the walls leading through to the more public areas, I guess is the best way to put that for the rest of the house. So like the living room and well, the living room and dining area, and doing the grey floors to work with that, and the walls. So I'm going to keep the kitchen in that space there. We've got the lovely window there that works with that, and it's just going to be kind of like a long narrow kitchen, but it kind of worked, I think, for this layout. And then that's going to be the twins' bedroom. So it is a very large bedroom, but I think that's good for twin kids because you're going to need the space for that. So I'm just putting in the the archway going through, so it's just kind of quite open plan going through from dining through to kitchen. There isn't a huge amount of space for the living area, but I did want some bigger bedrooms rather than having the huger living space, I guess, because they're going to have like the dining and the living room kind of all together. And I think the kitchen's actually a really good, decent size. It's just quite long and narrow, so it doesn't look like it's that big. But there's quite a bit of space in there, I think, to do the cooking and stuff. And I mean, I don't think it's too small a space in terms of the living area. They're just going to put a TV in there because, you know, you got the kids, you got to have the TV. And I mean, there's chairs, there's plenty of seats around. There's even like use that space underneath the stairs and put a seat under there. And I'm just putting in some more kitchen counters as well and working out how to space that. So there's actually quite a lot of kitchen space in there for cooking, and I mean, you need that with a young family, don't you? So yeah, so I was actually really quite happy with how that all worked out in terms of the flow of it. I mean, sure, I would have liked more space, but again, I mean, limited money as well. So, and why I'm buying art when I've only got $4,500 left, I don't know. But I'm optimistic, I think. Optimistic that I'm going to have enough money to finish the build. But I haven't even placed the beds yet for the kids, so yeah, I'm more at work. I mean, that looks lovely with the blue, the dark blue and stuff, but I think that one's just going to be too expensive to stay there. But oh well, it is what it is. So I mean, it's pretty simple as far as the decoration goes. I mean, I don't really have the cash to do a lot of clutter and make it look lived in and that sort of thing, unfortunately. I mean, I wish I had, but maybe one day I can go back and go through all these builds that I did for base game and just redo them not on a budget and just make them look really fancy and cool. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I could definitely do that one day. That would be quite neat, and just do a no budget build on these things and put all the little bits of clutter and stuff. I mean, with the Infinite update, obviously we got some extra bits and pieces as well, which is cool. And it's always nice to get some more stuff in the base game. And I've noticed that they've been doing quite a lot of the holiday stuff as well. Like, there's been more bits and pieces in the holiday range popping up. So I mean, that's quite handy as well. I mean, not all of it's all that usable, but if you're doing something themed, or some of it can be, you know, quite generic, so and usable, so you know. And I'm not going to ever argue about free stuff. That's cool. So just getting in the lighting, because at this stage I've only got the basic lighting as well. I've got 2,000 simoleons left, so it is getting really tight on money. And yeah, as I said, I haven't even put in decent lighting as yet, just the basic little sources. And yeah, no windows in the kids' room yet, no beds, nothing, no toys. I am so going to run out of money. RIP artwork, I think, in the future. So I'm just doing the Blanco toddler beds. I actually really like that range. I mean, while it isn't bland as such, it's quite simple and nice as well. I mean, I like it personally. I mean, I imagine there's people out there that don't like it, and each to their own. I say each to their own. But I am a fan of those, and plus, you know, it was part of base game update, so it was nice to have something that, you know, everyone can use. Yeah, across the board. So, you know, I think that's quite nice. So I'm just doing the dresser for the kids. So I'll put some like a mirror and some bits and pieces there. Probably a few toys just to jazz up the place, and I'm doing just all in the green actually, because the green goes with the blue in the room, and sort of carrying through that blue tone through this particular part of the build as well. So I'm just working out what I'm going to put where, and that is not placed quite right, that dollhouse, but I will move that later. And I'm optimistically putting the, what is it? Is it the wizard? Is it the wizards kind of set? I forget the name of that one. I mean, I love having that in base game, but yeah, it's probably going to be too pricey. Yeah, I'm starting to delete things now because somebody spent too much money on things like art. So yeah, so I was just going through and just trying to replace things with cheaper things, cheaper options. So I'm going to have a little bit of extra money just to zhuzh the kids' rooms up a little bit. I made the rug larger in the kids' room, and I think that actually worked out pretty well because it looked quite cool, larger, and like it was part of a decorated themed kind of room. Yeah, I think that's quite cool. So once again, just going through and deleting a few things and trying to work out space and how that's going to work. But I have put the monkey bars in, which I think is a necessity with kids, really. They need something outdoors, and as I said, with base game, your options are limited there. And I don't have my rubbish bin or my mailbox in there, so down to 400 simoleons, and I have done 0 landscaping. So I'm just working out some quick, cheap little options for making it look like there is at least a bit of a garden in place. Because yeah, I'm not going to have much in the way of stuff. So I am doing the old making it bigger trick to look like it's taking up more space. Yay, hey, that's me. So, and I'm just choosing sort of the cheaper items as well. But you know, I think that's actually filling that space nicely and looking quite cute there. And I think that just with the prettiness of the house, it kind of needed that. So we take a tour. Let's have a look at the Terry house on Rindle Rose. I love that blue and white. I think that's so pretty. And with the windows and that sort of, it's got that sort of, as I said, suburban cottage vibe, which is exactly what I was going for. I mean, I wish I could have put more garden in and that sort of thing, but we were really short on cash, and I think we did really well with the money that we had. So I think it turned out really pretty. So let's take a quick look inside. So it is quite white and bright on the interior, but there's plenty of room for them to add their clutter and all their bits and pieces around the place, and their paintings and the kids' stuff and that sort of thing. So that's the kitchen there. And going through out to the dining area with the high chairs, and that's the kids' room. I mean, it's pretty basic. I couldn't afford too much, but we did get a dollhouse in there, so I think that's something, and a few toys as well. So I couldn't afford curtains, but we got the rest. And that's our bathroom. So we've got a bit of clutter there. We've got our bath, so that's perfect for the kids. And then going through to the master bedroom. And I wasn't able to keep everything, but I was able to keep some of the paintings and stuff in the master bedroom. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and you can subscribe to the channel. You can catch me on the galleries, VelvettB, Pinterest VelvettB Sims, and Twitter VelvettBYT. I hope you enjoyed the build, and I hope to see you next time. Catch you later. Bye.